Tomorrow, Iranians will head to the polls to cast their ballots for the next president of their country, after the last president died in a May helicopter crash.
Iran state TV has just announced that the country's president, Ebrahim Raisi, was killed in a helicopter crash.
President Raisi crashed near the Iran-Azerbaijan border in foggy conditions. According to the country's constitution, a new president will be elected within 50 days of Raisi's death.
These elections could prove to be somewhat of a litmus test in terms of where power is going to go next in Iran.
But Iran's elections have never been viewed as either fair or free by the international community. A theocratic country with Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei at the helm. All the candidates are chosen by the Supreme Council, a conservative body whose sole purpose is to uphold the Islamic Republic.
Only a very limited number of regime loyalists are allowed to run for president in Iran.
Only one, Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian, is considered more, quote, moderate.
Pezeshkian is essentially trying to say to people, your problems may be a 10 out of 10 now. If I win, I can try to make them a 9 or an 8. No one is promising very meaningful reform.
Some Iranians have been on a collision course with their country's government since Mahsa Amini, a 21-year-old woman, died while in police custody back in 2022. She was arrested for allegedly not wearing the country's mandatory headscarf to the authorities' liking. In response, protests erupted around the world.
I think that one of the most impressive things about the Women Life Freedom movement is the participation of men. They realize that their freedom is tied to the end of gender apartheid within Iran.
Before former President Raisi died, authorities launched a renewed crackdown on women and men, which police there are calling Noor, or light. Videos surfacing of women being forced into vans and cars being seized, all because of brave Iranians choosing to defy Islamic law and not wear a headscarf, although NBC cannot independently confirm the circumstances of their interactions.
You're living within a society that economically is drowning. It's a broken system. The youth, which is empowered by social media, wants a new life and a new way of being.
While the supreme leader has ultimate power in Iran, he is 85 years old with failing health and no clear successor. So this election may be more consequential than others that have come before it.
So Yaz is joining us now. It is a fascinating look at a critical issue overseas. Help bring it back to what it means for people here in the U.S. and what it means for, U.S. policy, if you will, Yasmin, moving forward.
National security, right? And let's think back to the JCPOA, which is the Iran nuclear deal. That was negotiated back in 2015 under then President Obama and then a more kind of moderate president at the time in Iran, President Rahimi. We know under former President Donald Trump, he broke away from the JCPOA, saying, in fact, it did not make America safer. It depends on which side of the aisle you are when it comes to Iran's nuclear deal, right? So really the question is who wins tomorrow when Iranians go and cast their ballots for the next president? Is it the more moderate guy who could feasibly come to the table with a possible president here in the United States to renegotiate that nuclear deal, right? Open up economic ties. But remember, we are also in the midst, Hal, right, of this Israel-Hamas war. Who is funding Hamas? Iran is funding Hamas. So we have to keep that in mind as we understand how much this is actually going to affect national security here at home. But again, it's dependent on not only their election, Hal, but the election happening here at home between former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.